So, if you watched that recent Nintendo Direct, you will know a remake of the classic Link's Awakening will be coming out later in 2019. It's basically the talk of the Zelda community right now, as it's been nearly 2 years since Breath of the Wild came out, and this is the first piece of big news regarding the Zelda series since then. However, there seems to be some split opinions on a certain aspect of this game trailer. Obviously, if you looked at the thumbnail or read the title, you will know this is about the art style of the game. There seems to be very mixed opinions about this, with some fans loving and adoring the cutesy art style, and others simply hating it. Of course there is some middle ground here where some fans are sort of in between or unsure, but there did seem to be a good amount of fans that weren't so into this art style. So let's take a look into this topic. Does the style fit Link's Awakening? Should it return for future remakes or new titles? All will be covered in today's video. Okay, so let's look at both points of view. Some of us see this cutesy art style as a nice refreshing change to follow from Breath of the Wild, and modernise the style of the original Link's Awakening art style. It's cute, it's vibrant, and suits a handheld game very well. Now, this will be on the Switch, but it is a remake of what was originally just a handheld game. Whether you play docked or in handheld, I could see this working for sure. A lot of the older 2D games were limited to jagged pixel graphics, which, don't get me wrong, they are pretty cool, but this is the modern Nintendo, and one thing they love to do is modernize stuff. Looking at original footage of Link's Awakening or Link's Awakening DX, we can see what everything is, but it doesn't show what Nintendo's vision fully was. Graphics like this, on the other hand, do. I feel like this style would only work for a certain amount of games, but work regardless. Minish Cap HD anytime soon, Nintendo? Please? Then, on the disliking side of this style, some of us see it as a little too much, too bright and vibrant, and also changing the amount of realism way too much. A similar thing happened with the release of Wind Waker back in 2002. Fans were not happy at the drastic change in art style, going from realistic for the time to cartoony, cute, and childish. Thankfully for the Wind Waker, its art style aged very well considering the bad start it got off to. Could this remake be a similar case? Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time are kind of similar in this case. They both brought a lot of new fans to the Zelda series, to be followed by a game that looks very different. It's not a huge surprise that there is this reaction from some fans. Along with that, some just don't like the cartoony, cutesy styles for Zelda games and prefer the more realistic look, which is valid. So there is basically the two sides of the debate. Some love it, some don't, but let's take a step back from the opinions and try to look at this from a neutral point of view. Does it fit the game regardless of your thoughts on the art style? Well, this is tough to answer without putting your opinion into it. If we look at it like this and compare the older versions and the newer version based on the trailer, it looks like it fits in the sense that the Zelda team can portray the vision of the original game with the modern technology available to them. Obviously back in 1993 there was limits, and the true vision couldn't be presented. So developers tried their best to portray their vision with the resources they had. Now, in 2019, they have a much better opportunity to portray their vision, much higher quality graphics, much more powerful technology to work with, and the list goes on. From a sort of neutral perspective, I think this style does fit, as it's more or less what they wanted the game to portray originally. Maybe not exactly this, but the sort of cute and fun look to it. This would make sense considering the game looked pretty fun, design-wise, clones of famous enemies, pretty visuals for the time, and the music is for the most part fairly cheerful and fun. Now, should this style return for future games or remakes? Well, personally, I think that it should be for just remakes, also depending on which game it is. This style is much more suited to 2D titles, so perhaps a game like Minish Cap HD would work well. Keep the style for 2D remakes, I think that would work just fine. So, what did you think? Are you a fan of this style? Do you dislike it? Do you think it fits the game or breaks the game? Let me know down below. As of right now, I am a huge fan of this art style. It's really cute, really clean, and looks stunning. I can't wait to play this later in the year, and of course, cover some topics on the remake. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about the art style debate of the Link's Awakening remake. If you did, be sure to subscribe for more Zelda content. I cover discussions, theories, top 5s, and some other stuff. Hop in our Discord server, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.